quitting smoking, eating out all the time, things like that. It could be simple as that. It doesn't need to be a whole person. Hey guys, it's Heather here and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my channel is all about my journey to lose 70 pounds with a little bit of lifestyle peppered in between. Today's video is my second video in my New Year's series. I am getting ready for 2021. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to say goodbye to 2020. Although it was a not so great year, I do still want to do a year in review and show you guys how you can do your own year in review. I like to do these every year, good or bad. I just think it's important to continue to learn and grow. I know there are critics out there who don't believe in New Year's resolutions. I don't like to call them New Year's resolutions. I like to think of it as a roadmap for my life that I want to create, and I sit down every year and review how my year went. I think of how I want my year to look the next year. So for this video, I'm going to go through my year in review and give you some tips on how to do your own year in review. Now, this doesn't mean that we should get down on ourselves when we don't have a perfect year. We all go through seasons of life that may be just boring or mundane. Maybe you didn't do much, or maybe it was a terrible year for you and you lost some loved ones, or you maybe lost your job. And I think it's even more important to reflect on those years and find the good, find the lesson. I always like to say there's a reason for every season. There's always a lesson to be learned, to grow, to get better. That reflection of that not so great year is what's going to help you grow in your next season. So I typically like to do like quarterly reviews because we should be checking in on our goals more frequently than just yearly. I didn't do any of that this year. I'm gonna be honest, I was kind of a sourpuss when all of this started. I kind of felt sorry for myself and kind of thought, well, this year is shot. I don't have a chance at any of my goals. And I wish I wouldn't have done that, but it is what it is. That's what I did. I didn't do any quarterly reviews of my goals. So now I'm sitting here wondering what the heck I did back in December last year. A really good way to help you remember, obviously, is to write everything down. I have a PowerPoint that I created in Google Slides, and I just make a copy of it every year. And my PowerPoint is kind of a mishmash of a bunch of different books and blogs and things that I've accumulated over the years and kind of made it my own. So I really recommend, searching the internet for different workbooks or things like that to help guide you through the process of setting goals and reviewing them every once in a while. I'll leave some links to some of the things that I've used in the past down below. You can kind of make it your own. You've got to find that thing that works for you. So when I'm reviewing my year, I like to look on social media and kind of see what kind of year I've had. Like a lot of people, I document a lot of my life on social media, on my blog, on my YouTube, on Instagram, and Facebook. And like a lot of people, this year was not very eventful at all. But some good things came out of this year. I'll get into that in a little bit. What did I do well and what didn't I do well? I had a lot of misses this year, and I'm sure a lot of you did too, which it's fine. Like I said, we're not gonna have perfect years every single year. Just remember that as you're going through this process. So I wanna quick go over some of my hits that I had for the year. The most important one, at least for me, because it's been a goal of mine for probably the last 15 years. I have never been successful. I have never gone out of a year at a lower weight than I started the year. So this is a huge change for me. I have lost over 35 pounds, 36 to be exact, as of today from my highest weight of 203. So I am very proud of that. That is a huge accomplishment because it's something that I have been working on so hard for so many years, and it is finally sticking, and I am to the moon excited about that. Another thing is that I launched my brand, I guess you could say. I launched my YouTube channel and also my website. I've kind of fallen off the blogging train lately. I'm working on it right now though. I'm working on switching platforms, so it's going to be a while before I get to work on the blog a little bit more, but more content is coming to the blog soon. With the YouTube channel, I gained over 300 friends, and I absolutely love how great this community has been. The support has been what's gotten me through my weight loss journey. I posted on Instagram not long ago a thank you post because I just felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude for all of you who take the time to comment and take the time to like and send me messages. It's very sweet. I've even gotten emails from people to tell me that they enjoyed my content, and that has meant so much to me. You have no idea. And you guys have been the reason I've continued to be consistent on this journey. So again, thank you so much. But yes, I've gained over 300 friends here on YouTube. I don't like to call you guys subscribers. I like to call you guys friends because that's what you are. Along those same lines, I've been able to be very consistent with my content. I kind of mentioned in prior videos that I had a channel prior to this and I was not consistent at all, and it just kind of faded out into the distance, I guess. Consistency has been one thing that I have not been good at. This year I feel like I really got into the groove of that. I did Vlogtober, I finally finished a Tone It Up challenge, I did the TIU for You challenge in October. So this year maybe not have been the best year in terms of like the whole picture with the world, I guess, but I think that I was able to take an opportunity and run with it. I had a lot of extra time on my hands, and that really helped me get going with the consistency with my channel, the consistency of my weight loss journey, and it all just kind of came together in a magical way, I guess. And of course, I also had some misses. I became even more of a hermit than I already was. I didn't have much of a social life to begin with. I really wanted to meet people this year. That was a goal of mine for 2020. I wanted to get out and maybe do some volunteering or something like that to meet people. And I also wanted to try online dating. That just didn't happen. I do blame part of that on COVID, but part of it too, I'm still afraid to put myself out there. And another thing, I didn't take any trips. I really want to travel a lot more, and that was a goal of mine in 2020, and that didn't happen at all. The next step, I reflect on my misses. And a good question to ask yourself is, what mistakes did I make that taught me something? So again, grow from your mistakes. Don't dwell on them. Don't feel sorry for yourself. One example for me, I mentioned earlier that I kind of threw all my goals to the side, kind of just said screw it when COVID happened. Maybe there were other things that I could have done. Maybe I could have adjusted my goals rather than throw them away. Don't think that you have to have these goals for the whole year. You are going to make some adjustments. And along those lines, another question you could ask in your reflections is, how can I make my mistakes valuable? And I kind of talked about that earlier, but another thing that I kind of learned is that COVID did make me realize that I shouldn't take my life for granted. Our lives are precious, and we shouldn't hold back on doing things or meeting people because we're waiting for something to happen. You know, maybe I could have met someone sooner if I hadn't been so stuck on I need to lose weight before I meet someone. That has been my thing for the last couple years now. I've held off on meeting someone because I've wanted to lose weight first. Why would I think that? I know I'm not the only one who thinks like that. And finally, a final question I like to ask myself is, what am I willing to let go of? What's holding me back from my goals? My thing that I need to let go of is the status quo and being comfortable. No one likes to be uncomfortable. That's why a lot of people stay in relationships. That's why I stayed in my abusive relationship for about 5 years, because it was comfortable. Even though it was terrible, I didn't have to be alone. I didn't have to go to holiday parties alone. I didn't have to sit at home on the weekends alone, even though I did sit at home alone on the weekends a lot because he went out alone. Another thing for me is letting go of people that only want me around when they need something. I do have someone in my life that I feel like I do need to let go of because they only want me around when they need a favor. Any other time, I don't hear a peep from them. And you know, it's always the people that are hard to let go of. People in our lives that we've been comfortable with or that fill a certain void that it's hard to get rid of them. That got really deep. But anyway, the last question there was, what are you willing to let go of to help you achieve your goals? It doesn't have to be a person, obviously. It can be bad habits, quitting smoking, eating out all the time, things like that. It could be simple as that. It doesn't need to be a whole person. So once I'm done reflecting on how well I did in the year, I move on to making some goals for the next year and working on my word of the year. And that will bring us into next week's video. So make sure you subscribe down below and hit the notification bell so you're notified when that video goes live. And if you liked this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you guys are doing as far as reflecting on your year. Are you just kind of forgetting that this year happened, or are you sitting down and reflecting on the things that did happen and working on how you can improve on those things or how you can make them better? But I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.